Okay. So this is okay. Where is? Oh, here. This is here. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's working. So welcome and Breakfast with Max. February 2022 transmission. Here we are. Sorry, I had to change twice the time because in 2 floors up they are doing some work, and so it was too loud and it wouldn't work. So you may hear something still. It's 5 p.m. They should stop working, but I don't know. There may be still some noise happening. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go with it. Hi, Roxy. Welcome, Roxy. Yes. You see? Yeah, I know. Oh, that was the potential. Here is the potential. The potential realized. Roxy is here. Yes, wonderful. So let's get into it. So we are having our February transmission. Many things to go through and to explore and to talk about. So what is happening? What is happening? Well, life is happening. Human is happening, right? I've been digging into myself because, well, that's what I'm here to do: discovering myself, accepting, exploring, and falling in love with me, with myself, and realizing and understanding it's so fascinating, because in my head the timeline of my existence, my life, it's quite clear, and I will resume it, translate it in being my birth. So the moment I created myself into this reality, which we call the birth, going through education, so entering into the phase of assessing myself, preparing myself for the human reality, to be a human being. And then the next phase is the phase of the rediscovering, understanding the self. I call the first one, so the getting acquainted and filling in human. I could call it indoctrination, but I don't like really that, because that was good before. Long time ago, we could have talked about indoctrination. Now we have come forward, and now I won't say indoctrination. It's more of a. That's why I prefer to talk about acquainting the self, becoming acquainted with the human, becoming the human. And becoming the human for me is taking the rules of human being, which is illusion of separation, with is externalization of reality. That's the first phase of human life, in my perspective, right? We come in, we have all those years where we go through trauma and yeah, growing up, right? Coming to age, it's a lot of trauma, a lot of experiences that are externalized. Good. Then we have a choice to make. There's the choice of the awakener, which is the choice of discovering the self. It's the ascension, the essential choice. I decide to ascend and awaken to myself, rediscover myself. These are human concept, human words, because it's nothing. It's not that. It's not that is happening, because all of that is already. However, for the human, they have to happen. It's a choice to make, and it's a choice then to have that happen to the self. But it's a human story. It's a human that takes the long way to get there. And it's a choice. It's fully and completely and totally a choice. The other choice is the choice of externalization. You keep externalizing reality, and these two choice, well, two, let's say, main choice. There are many others, right? There is not just that, but if you think, well, I have those two choices, a ascensional and a externalization. They are not black or white, meaning there is not just externalization. Externalization comes in many shades, because someone that chooses ascension can still be externalizing reality, validating the external as real and denying the internal as the only thing, right? But again, as I was saying before, with the first phase, it's not indoctrination. The next phase is still not defined exactly, meaning that it's a choice, and every choice is it's valid and correct, because it doesn't matter. And if this is my perspective, meaning this is what I experience, it doesn't mean that everyone is experiencing these things the same way, because you do not need to go through trauma and through pain to get to ascension. You go to ascension anyway. So the way you do that, it's a choice that you make in your life. And if you choose not to suffer, it's your choice. It's not better, it's not worse. What this perspective tells you, it tells you about my belief system. My core belief system is that I need to have trauma and suffering to get to ascension. That's what I have been expressing in my life, so that is my belief system. Clearly. If that was not my belief system, I would have chosen another way, and right? Because it's a choice. But that choice is filtered through my belief system, and that is clearly my belief system, because this is my timeline. This is the story I am telling myself. And as I am attaching myself to that story, that's what happened in my perspective of my life. Trauma, suffering, shit, ascension. Working on the shit that happened in my story, in my what in the first phase, right? And all the phases. So this to say that We all tell ourselves stories. We all relate to our life in a certain way, and we see it in a certain way, and it happened in that way. If you take a overlook to that you have, you can see your belief systems. You don't have to go into details. You see belief system. When I say the first phase, I am tempted to define the first phase as indoctrination. You see my belief system, because it's not indoctrination. It's the word that I am tempted, or I am pushing myself to use for that first phase. But that's the expression of my belief system. Someone else will never use indoctrination. I'm not, even I am not keen in using indoctrination, even though there is a part of it that we could assimilate as indoctrination, because there is that going to school, learning, and right, and all of that. The problem with that belief system, and that's why I'm saying it's a belief system, is that if you change the belief system, you change the relationship with that, and it change, and all your story changes. Meaning that this period, this first period, or any other period, it doesn't matter. What you experience here is the reflection of your belief system. But here is the thing: is that it's a choice. Who's making the choice? I'm suffering. Who's choosing to suffer? Or externalization, who is making me suffering? The externalization side will say, my parents, school, society, everyone else is doing that. That's the externalization point of view. The point of view of ascension, let's keep that vague for now. Well, come and say, well, that's not correct, because nothing exists outside of you, so no one is making you suffer, no one is indoctrinating you. That's not possible. So there is a necessity to go back inside of the self to understand what that first phase really is. And at some point, one has to realize that no one is doing anything to anyone, but I am having experiences, and those experiences are created. Let's still stay vague and use creation, created by the creator. And let's keep this vague still and say creator. In other words, there is a choice of keeping the externalization equal victimization, or choosing the empowerment of the self and say, I'm not a victim, so I accept that I did it. You will not get there at once. Why? Because you have to deal with guilt first to be able to get to the point where you can accept all of that as being you expressing yourself, and not some outside power trying to get at you, right? That coming from externalization, that is not something that you can do at once, because you will encounter resistance. You will encounter every kind of stuff that is trying to sell you still the externalization. And that's fine, because you get exactly what you need in the moment. So your path of self-realization will happen exactly at the speed that you can work with. You will not get to internalizing reality like that, because for many humans that will be too much at once. So there are stages that we all go through in order to take ourselves to exactly that place we want to be. Now, it doesn't matter, because we come in the externalized world. What we have the idea that we must be beings that reach a certain level. We have to produce, we have to give, right, that level of production of results, and etc., etc. So we want to have everything at once. That's what we are programmed. So that's what I'm calling the indoctrination that we go through. It's that we got the human perspective of, you have no time, use all the time you have to produce, to be productive, to do that, because, well, tomorrow you die. So don't waste your time. So you see, you enter into that, and that's, for me, the indoctrination. So when you choose to let go of that, you come to a place where you have the choice to come to a place where you say, okay, time is not a factor. I have all the time. I don't have to get to a result. The result will get to me exactly at the moment where it is available to me. So I will absolutely understand, express everything I need to express to understand in that moment when that is available. So I don't have to reach a goal. The goal will be there without reaching it. Because in that moment, that's what I can express. And this is the difficulty, right? The difficulty that we create for, or when I say difficulty, it's not difficult. It's very easy, actually. But for the human, here we are talking about not elevating, but we're talking about taking the human expression to the essential self. So there is all the human expression that has to be understood, accepted, and transmuted, so that the creator, let's keep it still vague, can express itself fully through the human. But all that shit is there. If I'm externalizing reality, how can I understand the creator? I can't, because I'm expecting someone else to do it for me. So it doesn't work. I have to let go of the external, accept the internal, in order to have the creator coming in and show that, yes, this is me. If I'm externalized, that cannot be, because whatever I'm expressing in that moment, I will assign it to the external. An example, look at sports. Look at what sport people do when they are competing. Look at their behavior. What do they do? When a athlete is running and they are there just before running, the sign of the cross or whatever else they believe, they are there doing that, right? Like, if God has to favor me against my competitors because, well, I don't know, I'm better with God, or I pray that God better than them, and so it has to fair me. So you see, it's they are relating their performance to a external factor, God or chance or whatever, that has to come in and favor them over everyone else. So you see, it doesn't make sense. Let me have just this put in here. It doesn't make sense, people. It doesn't make sense why God will favor anyone against everyone else. Why? Doesn't make sense. Sorry. End of frustration. So you see, that is the externalizing factor. A external power has to come in, help me winning, because I myself, I cannot win. That is what I'm talking about. That is what externalization is. They do not feel that they can win their competition by themselves. They don't believe that they have themselves what it takes to win. So they are asking an external factor to do it for them. And at that point, I will ask, why do you train so hard? Because clearly you do not believe that you can win or reach your goal in sports by yourself. You're praying God to make you win. Then let God do it. Because it doesn't make sense to train if you do not believe that you can do it. So that's the externalization, right? And we keep doing it. And that is the thing, right? That is what it feels like of not feeling our own power, the disempowerment, the victimization. That's victimization. All of that is victimization. It's the belief that we are not good enough, that we do not have the strength, that we do not have the ability to do those things. And that comes from what I am tempted to call indoctrination. The indoctrination that we have is, you're not enough. You're a failure. You will always fail. You're a sinner. God hates you. This is the indoctrination that then we take as a belief system, and so we filter everything through that. So in the next phase, in the phase that I think we can say we are in, is the phase where we take all those belief systems that are fucking up with us, and that's where we start saying, yeah, okay, all right, but you see, there is something else. There is something else. There are other choices I can make. Let's explore those potentials that I feel in myself, and maybe that I've been told all these years of my human experience, maybe those things are not true. Maybe. But that maybe is a potential. I have the potential of accepting my self in a different way. I will take that. Well, that's where the potential is expressed. I have the potential to go and take it as a ascender, as a awakener, to take that path. Do I take it or not? That's where we come to the choice of ascension or the choice of externalization. Even though neither of these are black or white, again, you have all the shades of choices possible, available, and you can even go in all the completely different directions. Doesn't matter. That will always be available as a choice, and more, because we are not limited as a choice, but by our belief systems that will determine our choices, what they mean for us, what they express. And so in this new phase, in this phase where we are coming at, we come at the beginning of it. Beginning, there is no beginning, but for in our expression, in our experience, we have a beginning time. When we begin that as human beings, as fractal, we start that generally with the externalization still there in effect, full effect. So we go through periods of discovery, and there, come back to what I was saying, we are moving forward at the path, at the speed, at the whatever that we are able to allow for ourselves, that we are comfortable with, so that we are expressing ourselves in every moment exactly at our highest form of expression, personal expression, at exactly the right moment. At exactly the right moment, we are expressing that. No before, no after, but exactly in that moment. Now, in time, you may say, oh, I'm 90 now. How it is that I got this only when I'm 90 and I gonna die? Well, no, don't see it like that. It's not about age. It's not about time. You get it exactly when it is that you get it, and it's a moment. It's not a time. It's a, you know, being able to switch that time to moment thing. It's very empowering, because when you let go of your attachment to time as a expression, yeah, they're still there. Sorry, you'll hear this a little bit, but it's fine. When you are able to let go of your attachment to time as only expression of time passing, and relating much more into the moment. This moment is the expression of my higher possibility, higher, and that is always like that. I am always expressing my highest light expression for the self. Not, don't see that external. You're never higher than anyone else. There is only you. So it's the highest expression of the self. This moment and every moment. That gives you such a freedom, because it detaches you from the outcome, from the expectation. And for God's sake, it's really very hard, because, again, belief systems. We are filtering everything through those belief systems. So when it comes to that, we have to overcome everything that is attaching us to those belief systems. We have to understand those belief systems, to be able to let go of all of that, to accept it, and to understand, oh, I am still behaving in this way. Why am I still behaving in this way? What is that is making me always believe in this way when I perfectly know that there is a belief system that I'm still holding, that is still valid for me. I know that nothing exists outside of me. Am I still externalizing something? Because again, it seems easy, but when we pay attention, we find that, oh, I still think that my revenue is attached to a job. Or I still attach to the fact that to have fun, to be in a good mood, I need the presence of some people, right? I'm still attaching these external factors to my well-being. So I still have belief systems that are expressing themselves through my expression of myself. It's not wrong. But then it means that when I am trying to choose to express myself in a different way, to evolve myself, I have to accept that. I have to understand it. I have to be that. I don't have to judge or fight. And that is all we have learned, right? To fight, to be the best, to be at the top of everything. That winning is all that matters. So I'll try to win. That becoming rich is the most important thing ever, because money doesn't make you happy, but makes life better, easier. Still a belief system. Am I still judging? Am I still attaching myself to this or that? Yeah, let's dig into it. Let's do it. And you see, finding out these things is doing the work, allowing self to recognize the self, to dig into the self is doing the work. And I you know, and that's where you have so many discovering of the self. That's why it is important to allow the self to do that, and not to judge, and not to keep yourself as a failure if you notice stuff about you, but to accept it. Because when you, let's say that you go into a phase of depression, or you feel down, or I don't know, you have something that comes up and then you react, you have feelings, you have stuff happen, you are doing the work, and you are showing yourself that those things are still there. You receive a phone call from your mother, from your father, and you just cry, and then you are judging yourself because you were crying. Oh, my mother made me suffer again. So what is it? What is it that you are still holding that in that relationship that makes you go into that state, into that reaction? What is it? And if that experience didn't happen, how would you know that that is still there? You need to see it. It will be easier if, obviously, if we could just sit there and understand everything at once, right? Yeah, it will be fantastic to have that freedom with the self. And maybe there's people that can do that. my perspective, my experience is that I need to have that self revealed to me, that experience revealed to me, so that I can use that and go into more understanding. And that is happening. That is what I'm going through constantly now. And my allowance, my working with that, is that I accept it as part of the work. And I didn't even realize that. How dumb can it be? But it's not dumb. It's simply that we are revealing to ourselves what we need exactly at the moment we need it revealed and understood and known by the self, so that we can use it and work with it. So we may go and understand many things and discover many things about ourselves for very long, and avoiding a certain knowledge that, it could be very related to what we're doing. And then, we get stuck. What is happening? I don't understand. Why am I stuck here? Why? And as I come there, having my experiences, suddenly I understand that thing that I could perceive, I should have understood before, but it doesn't matter when it happens. I got stuck here. Now, that being stuck here allows me to perceive this other thing about myself that I was avoiding, not really seeing. So that at the moment, this allows me just to continue, to open the gate and allow the flow. You could have it in a different way. Yeah, of course, choices, absolutely. Did you choose to do it that way? Yes, absolutely too. Is one way better than the other? No. One way is as good as any other way. There is no better or worse way. There is only your way. That's what you have to allow to understand, right? Allow yourself to understand. There is no better or worse. Better or worse is a human way of creating a hierarchy that serve nothing, that is useless, because there is only you. With whom are you comparing yourself in saying better or worse? There is no one else. There is only you. So you can only compare with yourself. If there is any comparison that you can do, it's only with yourself. So there is no other way than that way. Then if you want to judge it, it's a choice. You can judge it, but you're only judging yourself. And when you are in the judgment of the self one, that means that you still have stuff to discover about yourself. You need to keep the work. Because as long as you are judging yourself, you still hold some belief systems that are making you judging yourself. And we do judge. It's not that we have to stop to judge. We have that thing that we judge. But we have to accept the judgment as a tool that we have for understanding ourselves, but not as a tool of better or worse, of putting ourselves above everyone else or underneath of everyone else. There is no one else. And even it's in the externalization of reality, which is what we are using as hierarchy, as a way of creating lists first, second, third, right? All blah blah blah. Okay, all of that, right? That's externalization. And yes, there's a truth in that. There is a reality in that, right? That is attracted, the attraction that is there for you to as a mirror or as whatever you want. But also, right? The thing is that we attach too much into that. As I want to say, if that is there, is because, well, that has a meaning. No, it has no meaning until you assign that meaning. You're the one choosing. Even there, you are always choosing. So there is only you and your choices and your belief systems, and the way you relate to you will determine the way you interpret your reality. And better or worse is exactly that, you judging yourself. You may think that you're judging your neighbor, but why are you judging them? That is the question. I was thinking just today, my stepmother used to be very judgmental of everyone in the village. And she was watching everyone, and she was very, very judgmental to everyone that was keeping their bad shits on the window, taking air too long in the day. And she was there, oh, that one is leaving her shits on the window and it's 12 o'clock. She has absolutely nothing to do of her day, and her shits are still on the window. Can you believe that? That bitch. Yeah, that's judgmental, right? That's judging someone else, but that's where you can see she was judging herself. About what? About the way she was doing her homework. So she was stressing herself to do it in a certain way, but it was never good enough. It was always, and then watching the externalization, so everyone else, to see if they do better than her, and think, oh, she's not working. Why is she leaving her homework so behind when, oh, I'm working and I'm doing it? Why isn't she doing it? And she's not working. Like if that was her business to put her nose into everything that someone else is doing. That there isn't someone else. There is only her. And the way she assigned that in regards of herself. So she was judging just herself. And we do that, right? We learn to do it. There are people that are just unable to just look at themselves and that need to look to everyone else. But this example, right, is also for me, when I had that thought, it made me realize things about myself. Because it's about me, it's not about her. Who cares about her judging everyone else? I don't. But that made me realize things. Because then I said, why do I have that thought about her judging everyone else? Well, it brings me back to my judgment about myself and about everyone else. Do I judge other people? Yes, I do. Do I attach any meaning to that judgment? Maybe I still do. So that shows me, how do I relate to the judgment? Am I using that judgment to create hierarchy? Am I using that judgment to say that I'm better than others, or that the way I see things is better? So I use that to dig into me to see what belief do I still use, or do I still hold anything of the kind. And if I see anything, and if I am still saying, oh yeah, I've heard this person saying this, and I was judging it, and saying that what I believe, what I say, what my truth is better than that. Okay, right. But I know, because this is something that I keep repeating, I know that there is no better or worse. There isn't. Everything is equal. Everything is equally valid and true to the beholder, right? Your belief system, what you believe, it's what you believe. Whether that is corresponding with my belief system or not, it doesn't matter. Your beliefs are yours. I may not relate to them, but that's not meaning that I have a better belief system than you, right? That only means that we have different views, different belief systems. That's all that that means. What I know and what I believe, well, that's what a story. It's what I tell myself. So I have to relate to that as being a view, a way of relating to reality, to relate it to myself, to relate to whatever. But that's my way. Your way may be different from mine, and it is different from mine, but it's not better or worse. So, and this is doing the work, finding belief systems, finding what we are still attached to, validating for ourselves, and where we know different, so that we can then choose different. I know that there is no that there is no better or worse. I know that. I know that there is only that, as beings we are all equal. So that means that there is that is the true equality, and that means that every being, no matter race, word, uh, no matter anything, doesn't matter. There is really no matter of what the fucking ever, because we are all equal. And equal doesn't mean that we are the same expression of energy, because we are one. So we, right at the end, that is our truth. But as an expression of creation, that's where I'm saying we are equal, because we are a different interpretation of the same, and we are interpreting reality, creation, according to what we are expressing in our self, right? But we come all from the same source, from the same energy. So that's the equality that we have. And when we are comparing one another, well, we are comparing ourselves, because we are all one, right? There is only one. We are all one. That's the unity. That's the expression and the understanding of oneness. but we express that as our individuality. There is the individuality. We want to experience individuality. Good. Well, then that's the creator, right? That's where we come in. And to go a step further and letting go of, I want to stay vague about this because we are going to talk about that later. Yeah, let's talk about the creator, because as far as this, we are now understanding that there is a creator, that creator is creating us, is creating human, right? Good. That is the understanding that we are now awakening to. Then we take a step forward, because we now know that everything that we understand is just a step. There is no the end game. There is no end game, but end game. But there is evolution. So we are evolving ourselves in more understanding of the self. And where we now is to understand that there is no separation between the human and creator. No, human is the expression of creator. Human is created by the creator. But again, as I always say, the Bible says that God created human at the image of God, meaning human is God. That's the meaning of that. So if I can recognize that creating an image at the image of God means that God is creating God, then that also means that we are, even though we are created, as we are a mirror of God, as we are the image of God, as we can only be God itself, then we are God. So being not separated from God, from the creator, and saying, well, then you are the creator, so then I am the creator. Well, then, yeah, that's now the understanding that we receive of that, which is that we are creator, that we are God. Not separated God, but simply God, simply creator. That's what we are. We can say representing, or we can say, well, you can say whatever you want. The thing is that now we are able to understand that that's what we already are, because we never left, we never separated. We are having experiences, and the experience is human, and human is expressing itself in this way. But the fact that the human is expressing itself in this way, it doesn't mean that creator is not here and now. Creator is here and now already, without the need of going in search of the creator. So at this point, we can understand what ascension is, what ascension is. And ascension is the expression of the creator, is the full expression of the creator by the human creator, the creator that is expressing human. So that, you see, there are validations sometimes and say, oh yeah. No, so that there is no illusion, or no pretending, no forgetting, no whatever. We are just abandoning that and fully embracing human as creator, a representative, a expression, a whatever, but no more fractal. There is no fractal never existed as a expression of less than. But for the illusion, we are illusioning ourselves. But that's an experience. We are having the experience. That's the thing. We're here for this. We choose this, right? Again, the choice. Can we have this experience without making this choice of getting everything, of going through all this pain, all of this, all of that, all that? So, in other words, can we stop experiencing human? No. We want this. We want human. We choose human. And human is expressed exactly in this way. Human is expressed exactly in this way. We are that expression that we choose. Pleiadian is expressed in a different way. Arthurian is expressed in a different way. Everyone is, but they do not relate to that as the human. They simply express it because that's what they are. Human needs to get to that expression of the self without the thinking, without the image, without the mirror, without the need of the illusion. But we got to that where we now know I am creator, I am God. I am doing this. And what I am doing, I'm creating opportunities, expressions. I am creating potentials. And I realize, because I was thinking, oh, so potentials, etc., then, well, what I just have to is that all of this potential exists. Potential exists. It's not to be created. That is where we got stuck, is that creation is. Creation doesn't need to be created. Creation is. And to explain this, we try to say, well, it's already created. So you just have, but even that, already created doesn't make really sense. No, it is. Creation is. Human is the expression of creation. Creation is, and human is here interpreting it as a story, using creation and interpreting it so that the reality, there you are. So all the struggle of saying, oh, look at me, I want to I want to marry at 20 and have 5 children, and then I want to have a very, very, very good wife that will stay home with the children as I go and become the CEO of a big company, so that we will have a lot of money, because we need a lot of money because we have a lot of children, so that we can build an existence with abundance, and we can travel when we have spare time, and then I want to have enough money to retire early, so that we can spend our time after 60 in abundance and doing nothing, and finally having a lot of time with ourselves, and our children will have a lot of grandchildren for us, so that we can have a lot of joy seeing our family growing and growing. And yeah, fantastic, great, I have a plan for my life. Now let's apply that let's have it give me that. Fantastic. Now that you have expressed your plan for your life, let's get serious, because you see that you are seeing as your plan for your life, it's a potential. That is what I was saying. It exists. It's reality. It's creation. It is. And all of that is a choice of potential. I choose, as there is this potential, I have choices to make so that that potential is realized or not. But whether that is what is going to be expressed through that potential and coming through the human, and the human expressing it the way the human wishes, or the way the woman does the human doesn't wish it, well, that's a choice. That's a lot of choices, and there are many factors that come in, because it is good to have a plan, and then you have belief systems, and you have those belief systems that are interacting to you with your filters that you are using when translating your potential, so that your potential will come under the form of creation and will express itself, and you will see if that corresponds with what we wish or not. But obviously your belief systems will have a influence in the way it's expressed. So it's good to have a plan, but good luck with it, because and so I'm realizing how this planning, this seeing potential, because having a plan is seeing the potential, right? It's that plan that is what is creation, and I'm taking from creation what I wish. Good. But then there is what I'm expressing. What is my reality really? What I have here, right? This is thing. So what I realize is that I can see potentials, and I see many potentials, whether they are directly my potential or other potential. I see it. I see creation. I see creation when I'm not paying attention. I see creation when I'm sleeping, right? I see creation because that's creation. That I'm seeing is creation. I'm not having a fantasy, or I'm not right. It's real, and I am seeing it. I am experiencing it. What I've learn about myself is that what I am still holding now is that I have expectations. I expect that my plan, what I think, what I wish, I expect something from that to then be manifested in my reality. Because right, we have been said, right, if you're good, if you behave in a certain way, you will be rewarded, right? Because God is good, right? This kind of thing. So you expect that if I do this action, I have to receive my reward. And reality, and I don't know for other, I know for me it doesn't work like that. There are no rewards because there is no need of having any reward or anything like that, because reality happens. It happens through the filters, through whatever we want. We are here and now, we are in existence, we exist, and that means that, right, reality is happening. So we are, and it's not about before, after. There is just, it's now, it's happening, and it keeps happening. And we keep, as we are storytelling, we keep saying our story, we keep experiencing our story. It's never ending. And if this form of expression stops, I will express it in a different way, but I'm keeping it because I'm focused on human right now. But at the same moment, I'm focused in so many reality, in so many expressions, that I don't have to bother wondering whether this is forever or not, because it is, and I know it. It's not. It's not something that I have to prove of, or that I have to study, or that it's I know. I know I am infinite and forever. I know it. And I know that everyone is. Every being is exactly that. So I'm expressing forever. Or I could say I'm expressing unconditional. I am expressing energy. I am energy. I am all of that. And then this story is the interpretation. It's the thought. Is the whatever, right? Yeah. And the final thing that I want to say is that for me now, this work, this discovering of myself, the more I do, the more I discover, the more I keep digging into myself, it doesn't matter anymore. It has no importance as of outcome or improvement or whatever, because now it's all about me, and now I have discovered the love that I am, that the unconditional. And so I'm expressing it and I'm keeping it. As human, I may have my emotional moments, yes, but I am not human. And that expression of the human never negates the creator, never negates my light, never negates creator, the infinite, the unconditioned. But discover it more and more, digs more and more into it. So that the judgment goes away. I cannot judge myself anymore in a permanent way, or in a trying to sabotage myself or to bring me down. I cannot bring myself down. There is no down. There is only discovering. There is only accepting. There is, yes, there is going into myself and feeling whatever I feel. It may be painful. It may be hard. It may be confusing. I may be here asking, what are you doing? I don't understand. I may be screaming. Yes, but it's frustration, right? If I'm frustrated, but I know that that is referring to me. I know that I am listening because I am listening. I am listening. I'm here listening. I'm talking to myself. So that I allow that to express and allow the acceptance. I allow the understanding. I go deeper into that. And I know as I'm doing it that I'm already understanding, that I am emerging from that. Because I am already, and it's not a birth or right coming out of the shell or, oh, hi. It's already in existence. It exists. So when I want to express something, I really want to have this. I really want to. I think that I now know the potential. It's a potential, and it exists. Will I manifest it in this reality or in this moment? No, it's not here and now in this moment, but there is the moment where that is expressed, that is real. But I also know that if I think that my what I want is a strawberry, I also know that maybe it's better for me to have a blueberry. So I'm not attached to have the strawberry. If it comes good, if it doesn't, well, I'll have a blueberry. Is it better or worse? It's exactly the same. The expression of my highest joy in the moment. The expression of perfection. And I also know that as a human, I have no idea of my real expression of my highest joy and how that can be expressed. But I know when it happens. I know when it's there, because that's all I have in the moment. It's the expression of my highest joy. It cannot be in any other way, because I choose to express it. So if I choose to express it, it must be my expression of my highest joy in that moment, because it comes from me. It's my choice. It's what I'm attracting and interpreting. Then my interpretation may be, this is crap. Yeah, okay. But I'm judging what I have put there, what I have clearly wanted to have there. Because if I didn't want something, that the creator will never create what the creator doesn't want. It's as simple as that, and it is absolutely as simple as that. If you do not want it, you do not create it. You are what? You are the creator. You are the creator right here, right now, and forever. In every moment that you are the creator. You are the creator. So you do it. You're doing it. You are the one doing it. You are. I am doing it. And I can see it as I am doing it to myself, or I can see it, this is what I am doing, this is me. And yeah, but this is what now is, and now it is always the expression of my highest joy in every moment. And so yeah, I mean, sometimes it's really creepy, but that's my interpretation. The interpretation of the human saying, oh, this is creepy. Well, then, yeah, right. Okay. But why is it that? Yeah. We cannot fail. We cannot get it wrong. End of story. But we are having the human experience. That's what we are. And we are expressing it, and we choose it, and we want it. So in this moment, my expression, the expression of my highest joy is human. Ta-da! Hello from the human realm of Earth. Welcome. Right? Oh, right. This is all. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And I will be seeing you in the next now. It's always a joy. It's always, yeah, sharing these moments with you, with everyone joining in. Thank you. And yes, let's stop this. All right. Bye bye.